What is up, guys and girls? This is your boy the Hunter Fisher. Welcome back to another FB Banger video. And today, guys and girls, I have a special one for you. If you guys have been trying to get into bait finesse fishing, BFS fishing so to say, and you have been curious what can you buy that won't break the bank or absolutely kill your pocket or kill your credit card or whatever you're doing, and you're looking for a good reel, maybe even a good rod. I'm going to talk about the rod later on in a different video, but today we are talking about specifically the reel. I have the best $100 reel in the BFS game that you can buy, in my opinion. So I'm excited to tell you guys about this reel, all I can about this reel in just a few minutes, and I'll let you guys see a couple of clips from catches of today's video. I'll see you guys out on the water. Guys, my GoPro turned off just in time for me not to get this fish catch on film, but just caught the first fish of the day from me. It's a little bluegill sunfish hybrid. You can tell by that orange tail right there actually, but that is the Tsurinoya Dark Wolf Ultra. This is the $100 reel. I'm actually going to talk about it real quick on camera for you guys so you guys know what I'm talking about. Alright guys, just real quick, wanted to give you guys a quick video review on what I think is the best $100 BFS reel. This is the Tsurinoya Dark Wolf Ultra. So I've used a couple of reels that are in the budget range under 100 bucks. This is one of them. I've used the Zephyr, I've used different reels. He's actually using the Zephyr right now. It's actually my old Zephyr, fun fact. But this reel right here is what I think is going to be the best under $100 reel. I would still call that budget, especially with the BFS game being so pricey. To get a really good BFS reel to cast light baits, it's hard to find. But what I think for the Tsurinoya Dark Wolf Ultra, it can do essentially all things you want to do with a BFS reel. It does cast a 30-second, but not as well obviously as something like the Alphas Air, because obviously a $300 reel versus a $95 reel on Bait Finesse Empire, that's not going to cast the exact same. But I will say that if you guys are looking for a good finesse option for really starting out your first time in BFS and not having to go to a mid-range reel like, say, I don't know, the iFish Clamber or possibly the Curado BFS, I would not really recommend the Curado BFS, to be honest with you. The Curado BFS is just not a good option if you're wanting to do everything besides bass. Redfish, it's maybe an option, but I'm not a biggest fan of the Curado BFS, but this is meant to be essentially a clone Chinese version of the Curado BFS, and I would honestly probably pick this over the Curado BFS for certain reasons. And that certain reasons is I don't need to worry about spending an extra $90 to get good quality. I have the same FTB, or not the same braking system, but very similar looking braking systems as the Curado BFS in a $95 package. And with this reel, you can put a bunch of light line on there, and there's also a magnet kit, but there's also a magnet kit for the Curado BFS, so that's also another option you can think of. One benefit to the Curado BFS over this reel, I would say, is probably going to be the fact that you can replace the spool. I don't know if there's available spools to replace this with, but I do think that this reel is a great option if you're somebody who's wanting to do bluegill fishing like I just caught, want to do speck fishing, which is crappie if you don't know what I'm talking about. If you want to do probably some light saltwater fishing, I do think it's a good option. It is supposed to be saltwater capable, and you can use it in saltwater. I've caught saltwater fish on it. Actually, technically, I've caught trout on it. He's caught ladyfish on it. He actually caught the first fish that reel ever saw. It was a ladyfish, and it was on a 1/8 ounce jig head. Now, I obviously know that that's not going to be a huge means for what you guys are probably wanting to look for inside a BFS reel, but what I want to tell you guys is that ultralight isn't always a 30-second 1 gram, half gram lures. Ultralight in BFS is more, in my opinion, a 1.5 grams to your 4-5 gram even range. So say I wanted to cast a 1/8 ounce tungsten jig head with a swim bait on it, that's super ideal for that. I think that's an awesome application of that. If I want to cast an inline spinner, perfect application for it. There's also a clicking drag on here, guys, if you guys did not know that already. Let me see if I can get it to use my chin. You guys can hear it. You can kind of hear it as I move the spool. But this reel is great for those of you who are wanting to get into the game but do not want to go super cheap. Now, at a $20 difference compared to the Zephyr, I think this is a much better option. The Zephyr is a great reel, but the form factor compared to this reel, it's just a lot more light, and it's also a lot more comfortable. In the game right now, this is actually one of the lightest Bait Finesse reel spools in the game right now. It weighs under, I think, 6 grams. I think that's what it is. I'm probably gonna put like a little correction here if I'm wrong, but this reel is extremely light. Unlike the Zephyr, which the Zephyr's not a bad reel, if you're wanting to save that extra $20, but I would highly suggest taking that step up and getting a different reel. Now for a rod, I'm going to talk about that later in a video when I made a decision what I think is the best rod for someone who's wanting to get into the BFS game, and what I'm going to probably say the best budget combo. Now, budget is a very relative term for you guys who are going to be stingy about it, but this reel right here is probably my go-to budget reel if I'm ever buying another one ever again, because it's right in that $100 point range where you're getting more of what you want and less of what you don't need. And I think that's really good for people who are trying to get in the BFS game. The BFS game is growing like crazy this past year, and it has been an awesome community that I've actually got to be a part of, and to partner with people like Amir from Bait Finesse Empire, talk to people like Hobie, and talk to people like Jimmy from over at Raw Fishing. And we've all got to try out this reel now, and we all agree that is a great reel. I do think there's good options for upgrade kits if you're a trout guy, and I do think that this has its place in your arsenal for that too. I'm from Florida. We don't have trout unless you're talking about sea trout, and that's what I've caught on this reel. And I would say it's definitely great for that too. Besides that, guys, that's probably all I've really got to say about the reel for now. I'm gonna try to fish some more, see if we can catch more fish. I'll see you guys on the water. Oh, there we go. I got bit on one. Little trout, I think. First pompano jig fish. That's crazy. I was like, I ain't got no confidence in it, and there we go. Just got to cast in the right spot, I guess. Little yellow one. BFS? Now come off. You're not gonna come off for me, are you? Little, oh my gosh, his mouth looks awful. There you go, cool. First cast. Little tiny trout. I didn't really want to bring him in anyways. Let's see. Yeah, backlash. Took the brakes down way too low. It's probably got about 80 yards of 10-pound braid. The real reason why I have 10-pound braid on is because I'm using it out here. I usually put like 8 on it. Gotcha. I'm putting on a 16th ounce little Euro tackle swim bait.
Little fish.
No fish?
Yeah, the little one. I guess
One of those bugs just got caught in my knot of my line. It's not my problem. He should not flew into it. First cast with swim bait. Yeah. I already know he's gonna tear it up though. Teeth, man. All right, guys and girls, this is probably the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that little quick review and a couple fish catches. I know that's not too much, but to be honest with you, I'm trying to find time to make more videos, and videos that I feel okay with making, because lately a lot of the videos that I've tried to make are just me catching fish and no real like substance, no content to them. I want to produce a lot of content, guys, that it helps you learn more about BFS fishing in general if I can. And I've got a lot of content that's planned this month. It is going to be a lot of busy work to me. So I'm actually about to go to Panama City Beach with the fiance this weekend. We're gonna be doing some beach fishing, doing some jetty fishing probably, and then the week after that, I'll be fishing in Tampa Bay for snook and probably some big reds here and there. we're gonna be aiming to catch those, hopefully get on a few there. And then the end of this month, I'm doing probably the biggest bucket list fish in my whole life is a peacock bass. I've never caught a peacock bass, I've never even seen one, but when I go down to South Florida end of this month, I'm going to be seeing if I can get into a few on Lake Ida. I'm not going to disclose, I'm not obviously going to care about what the location is because Lake Ida is probably one of the easiest places to fish for peacock bass. I'm using live bait, we're using different setups. I'm going to try to use some artificial and see how we can do. Sorry, I'm burping up, but that's the reason why these videos are kind of getting put on the back burner, kind of not getting as much fish catchery, I guess you could say, as I would like. So hope you guys have enjoyed this content though. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys learned something about what you guys are going to choose for your next reel. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and remember guys, if you click anything down below, it helps me out. It always helps me do what I like to do, make content like this, and I'm going to make this content more valuable to you guys than it is to me from here on out, because I have a job, I have a full-time job. This stuff does not matter to me. Hope you guys liked the video, hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys learned something, and remember guys, fish fear me.